Imagine if the new announcement was we had a sponsorship with Big Face Coffee. Can you imagine? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Stan says, didn't he say he lost the rights to the music? Not on that one. Not on that one. I lost the rights to the other music. Not rock and roll. Are you kidding me? Also, yeah, this is look at this sick merch. Shout out Veronica. Veronica coming through. Just sent some big face our way. So that was pretty dope. Thanks, Veronica. Speaking of Veronica, I'm gonna plug this a couple of times today. We have there was a fire new video that came out. This morning, and Veronica helped us with that edit. And I'm gonna share a link to our community page so that you can go there we go. Go like interact with the oh wait, it's not letting me do it that way. Go interact with the video. If you haven't done it yet, just like drop a like and drop a comment because these green screen ones are fine. Like the ones that we've been doing are fine. But these ones are fire, and Veronica does such a great job with it, and it looks so polished and clean. So go mess around with it. Let's get that algo boosting. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that algo boosting. That was a fun one. But I hope everyone's having a good morning. It's Thursday. This feels like kind of a weird week where it feels like it shouldn't be Thursday, but it is. It is Thursday. There was a lot of games last night, so that's what we're going to spend most of the day today doing, or the morning doing, is just kind of going over last night's basketball and talking some big picture stuff in the hoops world. We'll poke around in the bottom shots and in So Rare as well. I I got to tell you, this game week started off really nice for me and has faded fast. I don't even know. I think I might get one limited tier 4 back, and that's going to be it. So not my best showing. For today's content, though, I think this is going to be the only show this morning. Which is good because I was thinking about it. We did, I don't know, what was it, like 2 on Monday? We did a couple on 2 on Monday, 1 on Tuesday, and then we did like 3 or 4 yesterday. So we're feeling it a little bit. We're feeling it. Yeah, as I said in the chat, we're gonna fire up a little giveaway. So like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag Bay into the chat. Put hashtag Bay in the chat. We'll give away a Top Shot moment here towards the end of the show. And then let's get into it. Stupid Loop says, let's talk about Tony Brothers. I missed the Tony Brothers discourse last night. I saw a couple tweets about it. I think I saw you talking about it in the Discord. Was Tony Brothers at it again? Was he missing some calls? We had Shot Tank last night, so if you I might have missed some of the stuff that was going on with Shot Tank. With like the action in real time with Shot. Which, speaking of which, you should catch Shot Tank last night. We had a pretty in-depth. We probably talked about So Rare for 45 minutes and Top Shot for 30 minutes. So the first 45 were around So Rare, the last 30 were around Top Shot. So if you want to catch up on that, go do that. We also had the 89 Cavs last night at 7 o'clock, which is a lot of fun. Always a lot of laughs. Always a lot of laughs with the 89 Cavs. So go back and watch those things. But yeah, I don't know. Let's get into it. Let's just talk some basketball. We'll figure out why we're all mad about Tony Brothers. Anderson's Shot Tank was awesome last night. Hell yeah. Oh, I just realized I didn't say good morning to the people. Let's see. Veronica's here. David's here. Cameron's here. Good morning. Sneeps, what's up? Jump Shooty, courtside. Borland's up in the house. Who else we got? All right. Top Shot Common Man's here. Snoop-a-loop. Samit, thank you for being here. Docky Delta's in the house. Stan, we already acknowledge you. DJ Local. T-Man is here. Stubbs, good morning. Stubbs, you still out in Vegas, man? Is it still vacation time for you over there? I know you were out in Vegas, baby. Also, I got a question for the people. We were talking about potentially doing Vegas for March Madness this year. Is 2 Vegas, like, would people feel like that's too much, that we shouldn't even attempt to do it? Like we should just do Summer League and not attempt to do March Madness? Or would people be like, oh yeah, let's do 2 meetups? I know Vegas is a lot. I was just trying to think of some other things to do. All-Star Weekend, I really wanted to make All-Star Weekend happen, but it's just Salt Lake City is going to be a tough swing for me unless someone swoops in and they were like, hey, we would like you to go. Here's money. That's the only way that's gonna work. But I used to go out there for March Madness. Back when I was like right after I graduated college, I would go out for the first weekend of March Madness. It was always a lot of fun. But those were my younger years, you know, and I could get after it. Not anymore. Actually, that's not even true. I can still get after it. The problem is I'm just gonna wake up at 7 the next morning with my heart racing. All right, enough dilly-dally. Let's get into some of the hoops. There were a lot of games last night. Some weird results. Summer League is where it's at, man. It's just degenerates from all over. That's true. That is true. Sean, good morning. F at Nico's up in the house. Good to see everybody here. All right, let's go. Grizzlies, Hornets. Grizz won 131-107. My takeaway last night is there's a clip of Ja Morant who killed 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Just like standing next to the ball without picking it up. I am a fan of sneaky, crafty stuff because that's, as a 5'7" person, that's just like how it works. Like Jose Alvarado, love his little sneaky steals. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with like wasting time by not touching the ball. The Celtics do it all the time too. I think I'm out on it. I think I don't like it anymore. It's Skeets called it art, did he? It was fun until it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It's fun until it wasn't. Honestly, a lot like going out with your friends and like getting drinks. Like first 3, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm having a great time. 4, I'm like, this sucks. What am I doing? I'm going to feel this for a day now. And that's kind of how I'm feeling. We're seeing too much of it. I'm out on this. But anyways, good win for the Grizz, 131-107. Desmond Bane had a nice game. We were waiting for like Desmond to pop back into his form. He had 19 and 11. Ja had 23 and 8. LaMelo, like, I know that team is ass, but LaMelo is balling. He's just like putting up 20 and 10 every game. He had 23 and 12 last night. Scary Terry with 21. I will say, the one thing I will say, Mark Williams is here. Mark Williams has arrived. He didn't have a good game last night. He had like 2 points and 8 rebounds, but he played 20 minutes. And I was looking at it. I was like, well, he played 20 minutes. Was Nick Richards still out? No, Nick Richards played. So I feel like his ceiling's probably 20 minutes right now, but I think 20 minutes, like he can be productive. And again, we're talking so rare. Cap of 17 is probably not going to do it, but that comes down to like the 13, 14 range. I really like that. So I'm going to continue to monitor the Mark Williams minutes, but as someone who is heavily invested in him in best ball, and both of my centers of AD and Zion are out for a little bit, I really it's good to see it. Courtside said that was the loudest that the stadium got last night when everyone booed him. Courtside, were you there? I feel like you went to a Charlotte game the other night. I think that was you. You were in the chat and you said you left early because it was terrible. Talking about that game, isn't it an amazing trend that teams put up 131 and their leading scorer has 23? Yeah, I mean, I think that it is nuts. I think that because the game got out of hand, like everybody just got 20. The bench units came in and just cooked. I know, it is nuts though. Garbage time starting in the second quarter is funny. Anyways, yeah, so that's where I stand on the milk and the clock thing. I think it's gone too far. I'm no longer in on it. It was really fun, and you've ruined it. Also, Plunge Father, good morning. All right, Cavs Suns. This is an old school 1992 basketball game, 90-88. Last I had checked on the game, the Suns were up pretty big, and or not big, but they were up like 10 in the second half, and they blew that lead. Chris Paul played 40 minutes last night. I think that's something to monitor. I don't think you want him. Actually, now I'm nervous that that's incorrect. I'm pretty sure he played 40 minutes. Let me double check. Pretty sure you don't want a 38-year-old doing 40 straight minutes of anything. Yeah, he played 40 minutes. He went 25 for 8. I mean, like a solid Chris Paul game, but that makes me nervous. Yeah, so CP3, 25 and 8, 8 and 15 and 18. Donovan Mitchell got triple teamed at one point last night. He put up 20 and 9, and LeVert with 21 and 6. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. We're gonna have to do a video. Hold on one second. Let's do a mental health check. Let's do this one. Let's do can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, you know? I think it changes you. We might need another one of those in a minute. This feels stuck. Who has the best home court advantage in the NBA? The Boston Celtics. No, it's hard to say anyone but Golden State right now, except well, outside of last night. But the way that they've been playing at home versus on the road, I think it is Golden State. I think Golden State's the right answer. Yeah, you put in Memphis and Warriors in the chat too. Yeah, Memphis definitely is a good one. Who else? Who else? I do think Boston has a really good one. I think Milwaukee gets loud. I'm trying to think of like the playoff atmospheres where it's gotten really loud. But I think Memphis and Golden State are the right two answers right now. I'm trying to think. I want to like the Pelicans don't, the Heat don't. I'm trying to think of like those contenders. Even Denver, like you know what, Utah. I hate to say it, Utah does. There's a lot of like angry white energy in that arena. But the Jazz probably have a good one too. The Suns are so bad. Yeah, the Suns are in trouble, man. They are in trouble. I thought the Cavs were going to have a letdown spot too. Like after that exciting overtime game, everyone's tired. They still don't have Darius Garland, and they still found a way to pull out a W there. Yeah, they need one. They need one. Funny to say Golden State after they just lost to the last place team in the Eastern Conference. I know, but when Klay hit, we'll get to that game. When Klay hit that three, though, it was bumping. You need to go to the Smoothie King Center. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie. I have been to the Smoothie King Center. It is not electric. But remember when, like, what did they used to call it? Buzz? Was it? I forget what they used to call it back when it was still the Hornets and Chris Paul was there. They did have like a fire one there for a little bit. Just gifted you a Sammy. Oh, wow. Thank you, man. Thank you, Jump Shooty. The Lakers have home court advantage in Charlotte. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, Sean Grant added Cleveland to the house. And yeah, Cleveland's probably got a pretty good one, too. They're a passionate fan base. All right, enough about that. So Cleveland gets the win. Suns get the loss. Let's keep moving. And we're going to touch upon this one quickly. Magic beat OKC last night, 126-115. SGA, cash 30, 33-4. No one else did anything for them. Paolo had 25-8-7. He had a nice win, a nice game in the win. And then Wendell Carter Jr. had 13-13. And I only bring up Wendell Carter Jr. because he's been on so he was hurt, missed a bunch of time, and then came back in on a minutes restriction. And last night he played 30 minutes, and it sounds like they're releasing the governor, if you will. So Wendell Carter Jr. should be a full go. And he was playing, again, he's playing really well before that injury. So excited to see what Wendell can do as he starts getting healthier and healthier. They also didn't have Franz, the Wagners. He didn't have Franz last night. He was suspended for the game. I think they have a game tonight as well because they had a back-to-back. So Franz should be back tonight. But yeah, they're in trouble. Sean, going back to the Suns for a second, says it's not just that Booker's been out, but they also don't have the Camerons and Jay Crowder due to unhappiness has been hard to overcome. Yeah, they're just really thin. They're really thin. The Jay Crowder situation is so bizarre. So bizarre. But that's it. I don't think we need to talk about Magic OKC anymore. Good win for the Magic. Sixers Pacers. This was a fun one, except for the fact that Paul Reed didn't get into the game. So on Monday during Live Before Lock, we were like, dude, Embiid's questionable. They have 2 games this week. Maybe he misses a game. If he misses a game, B-ball Paul Reed to the moon. And we were right. He missed a game. And then they started PJ Tucker at the 5. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Maybe Paul Reed's the first guy in. PJ Tucker gets hurt in the first quarter. Montrezl Harrell comes in, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, though. And then PJ Tucker comes back, and B-ball Paul never gets into the game. So if you took the advice on Monday that if Embiid misses a game, then a backup center is a great play, victory lap, right? Victory lap, because we got Montrezl Harrell, right? However, I did play Montrezl Harrell in the lineup, but I like Paul Reed more than Montrezl Harrell. I think he's got bigger upside because I think this is exactly what I said. He's got more block steal upside, and we got to take the L on that one. So one thing I will say about like the so rare strategy of that, somebody had asked a question about like Embiid or Giannis or something like that, and I was saying I think there is something. Like, I think something that makes it unique, like say you could have played Embiid and Harrell in the same lineup this week and it would have worked, right? So and I think that only works with like superstars where you're like, you know what? I only get 1 game of Embiid, but 1 game of Embiid could be 70 points. And I think I don't think a lot of people did that probably. I don't think a lot of people put like Montrezl Harrell and Embiid together. I'm trying to think of what another example. Like you could have played LeBron and Russ together because LeBron had a game and he went nuts, and then he missed last night's game and Russ went nuts. So I don't know, something to think about. Yeah, Doctor says unfortunately Glenn hates B-ball Paul, and I hate Glenn. Makes more sense when you say I hate Glenn versus I hate Doc. Don't worry, moved my lineup around to get Bull in. Yikes. All right. Anyways, Sixers won 129, 126. Buddy Hield had a nice all-around game. 24, 9, and 6. Hallie had 16, 12, and 7. Benedict Mathurin had 19 and 4 off the bench. And then on the Sixers side of stuff with no Embiid, Harden had a little bit more usage, but he actually didn't go ham. He had 26 and 8. Tobias Harris with a dub, 19 and 10. D'Anthony Melton, 19 and 7. And the aforementioned Montrezl Harrell, 19 and 5 with a couple of blocks. Vintage Harrell, Clippers Harrell, if you will. Missed only one field goal, 8 for 9, 4 blocks. Good to see him finally have a good game this year. Yeah. Should have been B-ball Paul. But good win for the Sixers without Embiid. You know, the Sixers stay hot, stay ready. Bing bong, Knicks won 117, 114. This one got a little hairy there against the San Antonio Spurs, but Keldon Big Body Johnson at 26 and 7. Spurs were without Devin Vassell, so it was Josh Richardson's season. He had 20 off the bench. Brunsanity at 38, 7, and 6. And then regular season Randall had 25 and 13. Regular season Randall. Yo, Julius Randle is balling, though. We should talk. Like, Randle has been on one. He's been absolutely on one. Just like monster doubles the last couple of weeks. Just really hammering them. So, shout out Julius Randle. And, like, yeah, Eric's his frustrating game. You know what, though? W's a W. You know? Like, you don't have to be mad anymore. I was thinking about, like, how the Warriors barely got by the Hawks the other night. And that was a frustrating game because of how Jordan Poole played, which, again, we'll talk about the Warriors soon. But it's like, you know what? Doesn't matter because you get the W on to the next one. So just, you know, you take the W. I assume that game was on the road, but I think that game was that in MSG? I think it was at MSG. So regulator said it's Randall and All-Star. So the problem is when you think about the bigs in the East, right? It's like Embiid, it's Giannis, it's Tatum. Those are like the first three in, right? And now I'm trying, and like Durant, Durantula, but maybe Bam's probably, although I don't know, maybe you're taking Randall ahead of Bam and like all-star voting. And on a team, I want Bam over Randall. But Siakam, Siakam's probably there too. So if Randall gets in, he's probably last man in. You know, he's probably last man in, which is still really good. Like, I mean, Randall has been balling. I just think the talent's kind of crazy this year. I think that's really what it is. That's a fun one though. I wonder if Randall keeps putting up. If he keeps putting up these numbers, he might squeak his way in there. All right, Bucks Raps. This was a weird one. It was like 34-31 at like halftime. Or not halftime, but like 2 minutes left in the half. This one went to overtime, and Grayson Allen hit a big three with a little not too much time left in overtime to get the dub. Bucks won 104-101. Giannis with another triple double. Although if Poker Pro Eric is in the chat, he will tell you it was a quadruple double because he had 10 turnovers as well. But he had 30, 21, and 10. Another good game for Giannis, man. They had no Drew Holiday, no Middleton, no George Hill. I feel like they're missing somebody else too. Bobby Portis had 14 and 12. Fred VanVleet finally had a good game, man. I kind of feel bad for Freddie. He's been having a rough go at it. This is like, I mean, it's not his career worst, but it's been his worst since he's like gotten good. But anyways, he had 28, 12, and 8. Gary Trent Jr. had 22 and 5, and Scotty Barnes had 19. The Raptors continue to like almost win games. They seem like they're one piece short, but they not that they're running out of time. They're gonna have to make a decision soon, though. It was an 11-point blown lead in 40 seconds, an 18-point lead blown in like the last 3 minutes of the game by Milwaukee. But like we were saying before, it doesn't matter if you get the W, right? No one's really. It wasn't even a storyline for me because the Bucks won, so it like doesn't matter. Regulator said saw a great argument that now is the perfect time for NBA expansion because there's so much talent in the league. Yeah, Regulator, it's coming. It's coming. Mexico City and Vegas, lock it in. Those are going to be the two cities. They're going to bone Seattle over again. Stephen A. Smith had a tirade about the lack of scoring. They scored a total of 25 points in the first quarter. Stephen, relax. Why are you getting mad, dude? Everybody's been scoring every single game. We had like one game where it didn't go ham. Like, relax. Wow, since that Luka Magic game against the Knicks, says Fernandez, we've had the Donovan free throw, now the Bucks Raptors game. What is going on? I know. It's all over the place. All over the place. Sorry, I needed that last bit. I actually, we're going to play another video. I want to finish this coffee, guys. I need it today. Let's do a little AJ's. I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. That's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop. God, that felt good. That felt good. All right, now I'm ready to go. Bulls Nets. The Nets finally lost a game. Can you believe it? And it was to the Bulls. The Bulls 121-112. KD, man, 44-5. We did a video that the one that I mentioned earlier that Veronica put together for us. About like the output and scoring this year. And we've had 25, 40-point games. And I even said in the video that I don't think made the cut because I talked too much, that by the time this video comes out, there'll be another one. And there was. KD put up 44 last night. Kyrie had 25 and 8. Seth Curry, 22 off the bench. And then a nice, well-rounded performance from the Bulls. They got 22 from Pat Williams. He had 22 and 7. DDR had 22 and 7. And then Bucci Mane with the 21 and 13. So, listen, Chicago's been in a weird spot too, similar to Toronto and the Wizards, where they're like, they could just pull the plug, move some pieces and tank. They could try to collect a piece or two and then like make a run because they're like, it's still so log jammed. You could technically grab that 6 seed, right? The top 5 is so solidified, but I think there's like wiggle room everywhere else. So I'll be fascinated to see what some of those, like the Raptors and the Bulls, how they're going to handle the trade deadline. But good win for Chicago. Brooklyn, I thought was going to be tied for first place after last night, and I just wanted to do it for the content, but there we go. Nets fall. Minnesota and Portland. Minnie's hot now. 113-106. Ant-Man's been on one. He had 32 and 7. Anthony Edwards really is playing like some very, very good basketball. The last 2 weeks or so, he's been cooking. Luka Garza. We had a Luka Garza sighting off the bench. He had 14. Luka Garza, maybe my favorite summer league player of all time. That dude was intense. He was jacked up and ready to go. And then Rudy Gobert at 17 and 12 on Portland side of things. 26 and 5 from Jeremy Grant and 27 and 6 from Dame Time. But a good win for Minnesota, man. They're just going to string together some good vibes. You know, they go something like 7 out of 10, and all of a sudden everybody shuts up, right? They're back in a 10 spot in the playoffs, and everybody relaxes. So they just got to string together a couple of victories. Yeah, Fernandez Cat's still out. I actually haven't heard an update from Cat in a while. I haven't heard anything, so I'm sure Borland knows, but I feel like it should be. I mean, because he's supposed to miss 4 to 6 weeks, I think, and I think we're on week 5, so I imagine we get an update soon. All right, next up, Pellies and Rockets. So this was an interesting game because it was the first one without Zion. They were still missing Larry Nance. And the Pelicans won pretty easily. The final score is 119-108, but they were up way more than that. I wanted to double check the Pelicans minutes though, because that was something that I wanted to pay attention to as no Zion, and how does that affect So Rare with the minutes? And it's kind of murky. So we had the starting 5 was Herb Jones, Najee Marshall, Jonas Valanciunas, CJ, and Trey Murphy. So it sounds like Najee's going to be the starter. I think they like Larry Nance coming off the bench, playing that small ball 5. So I imagine Najee Marshall is like the biggest beneficiary, and he played 33 minutes. He had 16, 7, and 4. Now, granted, Brandon Ingram comes back. He moves into that Najee Marshall role. Still, though, that's like good minutes for Najee moving forward, I think. Probably not 33, but probably in the 18 to 24 range. CJ had a great game. He had 28 and 6. Trey Murphy played just under 30 minutes. So you had Herb plus 30. Herb had 31 minutes. Marshall 33. Valanciunas 32. CJ 35. Trey Murphy 29. The bench, though, only one player got over 20 minutes, and that was Jose Alvarado. Dyson Daniels played 15. Devontae Graham played 13. Jackson Hayes 16. Willie Hernan Gomez 16. So what we take away from that is it's going to be hard to peg one of those guys as like the right play, because Larry Nance coming back will take away those Jackson Hayes, Willie Hernan Gomez minutes, because that's like 32 minutes right there between the two of them. And you imagine Larry Nance soaks up 18 to 22 of those 32. So they really, once Larry comes back, I don't think any of those guys are playable. So again, I think Larry Nance becomes a good play. I think Jonas Valanciunas becomes a better play. But honestly, CJ and Ingram become the guys, because so much usage has to get moved around with no Zion for the next month or so. Do with that what you will. I don't know. I was interested to see what the minutes were. I was wondering if one of if Willie Hernangomez played 8 minutes and Jackson Hayes played 24 minutes, then it's like, okay, that's something we can do. That's something we can use. But Willie Green basically just out here saying, everyone's going to play 15. So, anyways, that was long winded to just say that. But, yeah, CJ 28-6, Joe Ballard 16-17, Hernangomez 14-7 off the bench. For the Rockets, the only notable thing was Jabari Smith had a double-double of 14 and 13. Man, the Rockets suck, dude. The Rockets are just not fun. They are not enjoyable. Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. both had very bad games. I feel like Jalen Green's had just like 2 months of bad games. Then maybe that's an overreaction and exaggeration, but he's been pretty bad. All right, let's get to that sexy Golden State Detroit game, which I woke up to. I didn't watch that game live last night. I finished it this morning. But Pistons won 122-119. Crazy last 4 seconds. So with 4 seconds left, Klay Thompson bangs home a three, ties the game up at 119. There's 1 second left, and then Saddiq Bey hits one. And their reaction was fantastic. If you haven't watched the clip, go check it out. We also put a YouTube short up about it. But great reaction. Good win for Saddiq Bey, or good game for Saddiq Bey. For stats, Boyan had 29-5. Duren with a dub. He had 18-11. Jaden Ivey's been slowing down a little bit, but 12-6-5. Saddiq Bey, 17 off the bench. Klay, man, Clay's been on a heater. He had 30 last night. Again, another big game. I'm just going to read off his last couple of games here. Hold on, let me pull it up because he really has been hot. Right now on the season, he's averaging 20 points, shooting 41% from the field, which is a little bit lower than normal, just under 40% from three and just under 90% from the line. But his most recent games here, hold on, I wanted to pull this up. His last couple of games, ready for this? So he's dropped 30, 54, 31, 29, 24. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His last 5 games, absolutely cooking. I think you ride the hot streak with Klay, right? That's just what Klay does. Klay gets hot and he cooks. So I'm going to keep, if you have him in So Rare or DFS or whatever, just keep throwing him out there because he's going to chuck, man. He's taking a lot of shots too. Jordan Poole's been bad, guys. So I'm going to he had 24 last night and you're like, oh, that's like a good game. Jordan Poole's been turning it over in tough situations. And like I mentioned earlier, he got bailed out in that Atlanta game because he had a couple of bad shots and just kind of going hero mode. Not to be confused with Tyler Hero mode. He was really bad. And last night the Warriors were down 1 with the ball with like 12 seconds left or whatever it was, and just kind of like dribbled it off his knee and turned it over. And he's just had a lot of turnovers. So I'm curious. I think part of it is they're just hoping that okay, he's doing what Steph does, and he's not Steph. He's not Steph. And so to try to replicate what he does offensively is not what Jordan Poole does. They need Jordan Poole just to be like a 6-man cooker. Anyways, off the bench, though, Ty Jerome, shout out Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome just carving out a role on a really good team. He had 18, and Anthony Lamb had 17 off the bench. But good win for Detroit. Golden State finally drops one at home. I don't know. They already paid Poole. Yeah, no. I'm not one of those people that's like upset with how much they paid Poole. That's just like the going rate for that type of player. I'm just saying he's now doing a role that he wasn't built to play, in my opinion. Josh said, I was sitting in rare rewards this week in limited champion, and then Bull got COVID. I know. It's tough, man. It's tough. Sorry, Josh. At least you have an excuse. Like, my guy just didn't play because he sucks. Your guy got sick. It was something that was out of his hands. My guy was just like, he's not that good. All right, 2 games left. Lakers got to win over the Heat without LeBron James. What you doing, Miami? And it wasn't like Miami was missing a bunch of their dudes, I don't think. Like Duncan Robinson, we should say Duncan Robinson's going to miss a month. I think he's having like surgery on his finger or something like that. But Lakers won 112-109. Jimmy Bucks had 27-4. Bam continues to be in a hot streak. He had 30 and 13 last night. Thomas Bryant had 21-9. Dennis Schroeder had 32, and then Russ had 21, 9, and 8. I saw an interesting conversation on Twitter yesterday. I think it was Michael Pena from The Ringer tweeted out something about basically just talking about Sabonis and how Sabonis should be third team all NBA as like the third big, right? Knowing that it's going to be Embiid and Jokic as like 1, 2, and like who's the third best center in the league. And the Miami stands got hot. The Miami stands got in there and they were hot in the replies saying like Bam over Sabonis. I think that's a pretty interesting discussion. I think it's pretty close. I mean, Bam what Bam provides defensively, like that, it's not even close to what Sabonis can do. But I mean, you guys watch the show every morning. I mean, every time we talk about a Kings game, he's doing Jokic light stuff, right? It's like big double doubles. What Boob's saying, can we talk about how rigged the Raptors overtime game was? So what did someone tell me in the chat? I saw the Tony Brothers stuff. What did I miss in the chat? What happened? What was like what was the egregious call that I missed? Eric saying contract's going to be a whole different thing in a year or two. 30 million is not a huge contract anymore. Yeah, I agree. Stan, Bam is one of the best defensive players in the league, and they are close offensive. Bam clears easily. So I don't think it clears easily. I think it's close. I think it's close. I think I would pick Bam. I would like for all NBA right now. I think I would pick Bam. Bam, it's funny, man. Stan, you know this better than anyone else because you'd probably call it out every time I see it. Bam was like pretty inconsistent at the beginning of the season, and it was like frustrating, right? Where he would have like he would see a 30+ game and then would follow that up with like 12 and 10. And it's like, what are you doing? But he's been really, really good lately, and Miami's been hot lately. And I think a lot of that has to do with like the Bam play, because Butler plays like every third game, it feels like right now. So I think I would pick Bam, but I do think that's close. I do think it's close. Regulator said, is Sacramento a better team than Miami? I feel like they're pretty comparable. Sean saying the Lakers definitely care right now. When LeBron puts up the great run he's had after that last week, it's contagious. So then when he sits out, they want to pick it. Yeah. I mean, listen, Russ was great last night. I should finish the stat, right? Russ 21 and 9 and 8, and Schroeder with a 32. They've been great. I mean, the Lakers played really well. They played really well. I feel like they still have a long way to go, but yeah, that was a really good win for LA. Are people ready for the Porzingis conversation? No, it's not going to be Porzingis. It's not going to be Porzingis. Who do you trust more for the last shot? Well, I don't think that's one of the qualifiers for being all NBA, but I get what you're saying. I think Sabonis when it comes to offense. I mean, it's Sabonis, but who do I trust to defend the last shot? I would say Bam, you know? All right. Giannis got an offensive call on a fast break too. It was like a Euro step. Never seen that call before. Wow. Yeah, Reeves has been balling too. Shout out Austin Reeves. Shout out Dustin and the Austin Reeves. All right, let me get to the last game because that has the Kings in it. Hawks won 121-17. They broke the bad vibe streak. John Collins had a really good game, 22 and 12. DeAndre Hunter put up 22 and 8 as well. Trey and DeJounte both kind of had some like not off games, but just unimpressive games. They both put up 21 and 6. DeJounte had a big pickpocket of Fox late in the game that was that kind of helped seal the deal. Sabone with 20, 14 and 8. Harry Barnes had 22, Fox 25, 5 and 5, and then Herter had 24. So yeah, there you go. That was last night's action. Let's poke around. Let's poke around to the standings to just see how stuff moved around. We can see what I know. There's 4 games tonight, so we can take a look at the games for tonight, and then we can get into some bigger picture stuff where we can talk about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. All right, let me pull up the standings here. Here we got. So with the Bucks win and the Nets loss, the Bucks moved percentage points up ahead of the Nets. So we got Celtics, Bucks, Nets here for the top 3. Cavs just a half game behind Bucks and Nets, and then Sixers just a game behind the Cavs. So the top 5 tightened up a little bit. Then a little bit of a drop off here, but the Knicks avoiding the play-in at the moment. Also, we're like 40 games in almost. It's kind of crazy. We're almost at like that halfway point. Pacers right behind them. Heat like turning it around a little bit. I know they lost last night, but right there. And then Hawks and Bulls under 500, but technically in the playing game. But like we're no longer small sample size, right? Like the Pacers being 3 games over 500 halfway into the season, and like the Heat being basically 500 halfway into the season. It's kind of nuts. And then you get the Wizards and Raps. I mean, man, Raptors down bad. Just the Magic are 2 games behind the Raptors. And then it's the Pistons and Hornets after that. And then we've got in the Western Conference, we've got the Nuggets and Grizz tied right here. Pelly's just a half game behind that. Look at that Western Conference just jammed up right there. Be curious to see how the Pellies fare with no Zion over the next couple of weeks. And then the Mavs right behind that, or 2 games behind them. Kangs with losing their game, they drop a little bit. So the Kings and Clippers are tied for that 5-6 spot. Blazers, Suns, Warriors, all 1 game behind them, and then Jazz a game and a half behind them. Timberwolves, after winning 2 in a row, only a half game behind the Jazz. Timberwolves are catching the Jazz soon. And then the Lakers, only a half game. Lakers still hanging around. And then the Thunder right here, Spurs and Rockets. Let's see what we got Tonight, I think it's only 4 games tonight, if that is correct. We got Memphis, Orlando, Boston, Dallas. At least we got fun TNT games. Boston and Dallas, Utah and Houston, and then the Clippers and Denver. Clippers and Denver should be fun. Why couldn't they review the Portis play? Yeah, I don't know. I got to go back and watch it. I missed it. I got to go back and watch it. Sean was saying the question for Sabonis will be if they wind up shutting him down if the Kings fall. Yeah, I don't think they will, Sean. I don't think the Kings are going to fall out. I mean, they could fall to like 8 or 9, but they're not falling out of. They're not falling all the way out. They're too good, man. They like the Kings are a legit team, and the Kings have a trade to make. Like I feel like the Kings are going to make a move there at the deadline. I think they're going to. Go Hornets, go around the bowl and down the hole. Go Hornets, go. Oh man. Yeah, anyways, I think the standings are fun right now. I'm enjoying where we are at with the NBA. The West is going to be wild down the stretch. And again, I can't believe it. Like just 30, 38, 39 games into the season, we're still moving along, baby. Moving along. All right. What do you guys want to get into today? What are you interested in? What do we want to talk about? We covered last night's action in the NBA. Game week 23, I believe it is, starts on Friday. So just a reminder, tomorrow we'll have the morning show. And then at 5:30 Eastern time, we'll be cooking up with the Live Before Lock. Hopefully our man Noam is joining us. So make sure you tune into that. You can also, we had an episode of Value Hunting drop yesterday. So you can go ahead and check that out as well. Do all the things. I'm also going to share a link of the into the chat. I want everybody to do it right now. Everybody should go engage with the short that we did this morning that I'm going to drop in there right now. So if you haven't watched it and liked it yet, there's 67 of you in here right now. Please click it and go in there. Talk about if there's any hope of Bol playing tonight. I mean, we can check that right now, actually. I would imagine if he was ruled out last night for COVID. Actually, you know what? I don't even know the rules anymore, man. I don't know the rules anymore. So I don't even know what it is. I'm going to check the projected starting lineups right now, and see what they got here for Bol. We can check that. Yeah, it looks like Bol is going to be out because they are projecting Fultz, Suggs, Wagner, Paolo, and Wendell Carter Jr. To be starting. I also saw Gary Harris started last night for the Magic. Like, whoo, baby. I feel like I haven't heard Gary Harris's name in a long time. But yeah, Bol's not playing tonight, Josh. I'm sorry. Down bad, my man. Down bad. I'll actually pull up my So Rare lineups and you can see how pissed off I am. And we can get mad together because there's nothing about losing together. Bol ruled out 3 minutes ago. There you go. Right on cue. Right on cue. I'm going to save Stan's comment. I'm going to come right back to that, Stan. All right. So here's my garbage lineups. I got a common tier 5 in the contender, but Franz is playing tonight, so that's fine. My champion lineup is like boring. My all offense, who cares? We get down here. So right now it's projected for a limited tier 4. Jalen Green is one more game. I did get 17 out of Moody, which was actually better than I thought. Neesmith, I was hoping to get over 30, and Keldon Johnson getting 30. Keldon Johnson is one of the most frustrating players. Like, he puts up 30 points and then does nothing else. Montrezl Harrell with 42, which is great, and then Jalen Green with 40, which was also disappointing, but they do play tonight, so maybe he goes ham. Limited champion, we got burned by a couple of things. Zion injury hurt, and then Paul Reed not playing. Like, if we got 25 out of Paul Reed, we would have been cooking. Sabonis with the 54. KPJ crossed 50. Barnes crossed almost 50. Limited all defense was hanging around for a little bit, right? I got Okongwu for 32. Robinson disappointed last night, too, because he got into foul trouble right away. I think he played like 13 minutes. He had like 4 fouls in the first half. Jeremy Grant, honestly, was just a bad play by me in all defense. Simmons was fine, and then I still got 1 game out of Christian Wood, so maybe if he puts up 35, we're back in it. And then my rare contender, like, this was kind of fun because Draymond put up 59. I got 36 out of Ivy. This was a little disappointing. And then Wagner plays tonight, so I'm not worried about that. Although I don't know why they're saying final. He's got 1 more game, so that's kind of weird that they're saying final. Unless he got ruled out. Did Wagner get ruled out as well? I didn't think so. He's supposed to be playing tonight. Anyways, and then my champion is just like my leftovers because I don't have a good enough lineup. But like, imagine, Jalen Smith over here. Yeah, we could have done some stuff. Muscala finally put up the game we were looking for in 22. So I don't know. Porter sighting. You only started 1 Porter. What do you mean? Only? Oh, you want to, because the Porters. Let's do a Porter's drop. We haven't done it, even though it's outdated now that they're all on different teams. It feels like
we're the Porters. We share the crowd of up and down performers, throwing things and buzzer beater corners. And one of us is playing for the Warriors. We're juniors and we're the Porters.
God, we love a Porter drop. We love a Porter drop. I just felt like everything was that was weird. It looked like my screen was, I don't know, maybe I'm having a stroke. Yeah, Suggs is back. Roland says I'm sitting 10 points away from a tier 1 rare contender. Need a big game from Adams. Which Adams? Are the Grizzlies playing tonight? Which Adams? I don't even know who's playing tonight, Roland, that you have Adams. What am I missing here? What else we got here? Oh, here comes Bandy comes flying in here. Where's he at? There he is. Top Shot giving out an unannounced airdrop. Are they learning lessons possibly? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. So like if you completed the one of the challenges, right, over Christmas, you get that. Yeah, that's cool. That was cool. Wait, Roland, but do the Grizzlies? I didn't think the Grizzlies had a game. Didn't we just go over that? Maybe I missed it. Hold on. Let me. Who? Oh, they do have a game. My bad. They play Orlando. My bad. My bad. Thank you. All right. The other thing I wanted to share was Stan's comment from earlier. So Stan says tour is Saturday and players not announced yet. Feel like they were scrambling to find somebody. I hope that's not the case. I wonder if they are just like, you know, I wonder if they're just like building suspense because they haven't really made any announcements about any of the tour things, right? This entire time. It's not, they haven't like hyped it up at all. So I can just see them being like, you know, whatever. When we get there, we'll let you know. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like, did they announce Jose Calderon beforehand or did they announce Terry Porter beforehand? And I guess it's Thursday. So if they're going to announce it, maybe they announce it today or tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, bummed I'm not going to be there. There was potential that it was going to happen. Will said they're backed up because they all took 12 days off for the holidays. Most of them just coming back to the office for a day or two. Yeah, maybe. But again, I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they were saying anything. Jose, they did, but how early did they announce Jose? Was it like a week before? It was going to be Duncan. Well, Duncan, listen, if it's going to be Duncan Robinson, he's very available. No, it's got to be a former player, right? So let's see. What would be Mario Chalmers? Maybe is Mario Chalmers still in Miami? I could see that one that being a candidate. Who else is down in Miami right now? Who would be like a good throwback Miami? Chalmers feels like the one. I feel like Chalmers would be down for it, and he's like right in that level. Myers Leonard, get out of here. Shane Battier, that's a good one. It could be Battier. Do you have any favorite plays for next week, Josh? It says. I mean, I guess we have to wait on injury news, honestly. So you're talking about so rare. Let me pull up Momentum Labs and I'll scroll around. I'll take a peek at some of the if anything's popping. I don't know if if the projections have been updated this morning yet, but let's see, what's today? They were last updated at what time? Yeah, these are last updated yesterday. So I don't know how helpful that'll be, but I'll scroll around. I mean, I think Jonas Valanciunas is going to be a great play moving forward. Chalmers was already at a top golf for playoffs. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Fernandez, I literally just explained that a second ago. Where'd you go, Eric? They announced it yesterday that basically if you completed one of the challenges on Christmas, they just like airdropped you a moment. Wade, I feel like it won't be Wade, regulator said, asked. Ronnie Cycli, that's a good one. Ronnie Cycli, hell yeah, that's a fun one. All right, let's go over to the projections over here. It's so rare. Yeah, I think Jonas Valanciunas is going to be my favorite play this week. I don't know how many games they have. They got 2 games. He's got a cap of 31 his cap did come up. I thought it was a little bit lower. I feel like he's just going to be a monster with usage with no CJ. I mean, with no Zion. Is Ingram? No, they still don't have Ingram coming back. McCollum, I'm curious what he's got a cap of 42 with a projection of 38. All right, so maybe it's neither of the Pellies. Let's go. What is Mark Williams' cap right now? 16. I like Mark Williams quite a bit. I think he's going to be playing like again 20 plus minutes. I'm excited to see him. Is Trey Murphy a play because of no Zion or BI? Yes. I mean, Trey Murphy was one of the guys that played just about 30 minutes, right? Let's see. I think his cap came down a little bit. Yeah, cap of 24, projection of 26. What I like about Trey Murphy is he does have like 45-point upside. We've seen him go off a couple of times with threes and stuff like that. But but his floor seems to be like 20, 24. So like he's not going to screw you. I love Jackson Hayes. His cap is so low for what he could do with the right amount of time. Sean, my only concern with Jackson Hayes, I'm going to pull him up here to see what his cap moved to after those couple of games. His cap is now 14. His cap is 14. And like I was showing you earlier with the minutes, I was hoping they were going to lean on one of those guys, whether it was going to be Hernan Gomez or Jackson Hayes. Now, if Larry Nance misses the games this weekend, then I think you can take a shot at it. But if he's only going to play 15 minutes, you need him to average a fantasy point per minute just to get to cap, which I think is a lot to ask for a player. Like only some of the best players average a fantasy point per minute. So it would depend on injury news. If Larry Nance is back, I definitely don't like it. And even if Larry Nance is in, I'd be a little hesitant. But I know he does have upside. I want more minutes. D Rose, I agree. Mark Williams sounds like a fake name to me for some reason. I agree. Nance Jr. might be a good play as well if he's back. Yeah, let's look at what his cap is because I know Larry Nance had a couple of really good games before he went down. Larry Nance Jr. All right, so he's out at least for one of these games. It looks like maybe. All right, we'll see. So he did next spasm. He's got a cap of 20. Okay, yeah. Listen, if Larry Nance is going to play both games this weekend at a cap of 22, I imagine he plays 22 to 26 minutes. I'm okay with it. All right. Jamie says, now that I have Luka, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis common cards, how do I side? Jamie, listen. This sounds like first world problems right here. All right. Because I only have Jokic. So I don't even get to make decisions like this. So like you're like, man, I have too much money. How do I which money do I use? No, I mean it depends. I guess I would look at matchups. You know, I'd see like who's playing the Rockets, who's playing the Hornets. That's kind of how I would do it. I'd use that stuff as tiebreakers, you know. And Josh says play all three and then get 2 low cap to fill it out. Yeah, you could do that too. Why did Sims get more minutes than Mitch Robinson last night? Mitch Robinson fouled immediately. Every time he got in, he hacked somebody. He fouled people aggressively, early, and often. It was very frustrating. But he had 3 fouls in the first quarter. So shout out Mitch Rob. That's the thing with Mitch Rob. Anytime he projects well, I'm like, if Mitchell Robinson is popular, do not play him. If he's not popular, you play him. That's my rule on Mitchell Robinson. He is the Robbie Ray of basketball. And that is a reference probably for no one because I don't know anyone that plays DFS baseball. But Robbie Ray is someone that could strike out 10 and go 8 innings, or he could get lit up in the first inning. So anyways, that's my take. A lot of upside, but a lot of downside as well. All right. Yeah. I don't know. What else you guys got? We can wrap up soon. We'll do live before lock. You should be checking out all of the stuff. I'm going to share that link one more time. I'm going to see, did we get some more traction here on that short? Only 3 more likes and no more comments on that video that I shared. I'm sharing this again. If you guys aren't interacting with this shorts, I swear to God. Eric said Meech will have a great stretch and then have a game or 2 where he just checks. Yeah. Selling Kessler, Olynyk will ruin his value. Okay, so this is the one thing I will say about Kelly Olynyk. So the Jazz right now are in the 10 spot. I do think they're going to. I think the Timberwolves are going to catch him. So the one thing I will say about this, if they decide they're going to move a piece, Kelly Olynyk is the first guy that gets moved. Because then it allows them to develop Walker Kessler Ranger. So I kind of like. I totally get what you're doing. I totally get it. But I think I would go ahead. I kind of like stashing Kessler. And he might not be a play till the All-Star break, but I like it. Josh, I just dropped a link into the Discord. I'm also going to drop a link to, if you guys haven't signed up for our VIP thing, it gets you into the gated parts of the Discord, right? We have like a So Rare channel that's just for our VIPs. It's like $1.99 a month. It's like nothing. So there you go. Go do that as well. No, I still think Kelly Olynyk's a great play. Like wherever he goes, he's going to be a solid play. I think he's the first guy that gets traded. First big trade, who will it be? I think it is going to come from, well, I don't know. I mean, the Toronto thing could be weird, but my guess would be it's someone like Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk or Bojan Bogdanovic. Bojan's the other one that's definitely getting moved. If you have 50 to spend on So Rare, pick your best 2 to 3 cards. Asking for a friend. All right, Samit. So I guess I would start with limited, right? Because if you're only spending 50, you want to spend with limited here. Wait, why is the cap all funky in here? What is it sorted by boost? What's going on here? All right, let's see. Let's just try to find people who are all right. Let's do this. Let's do this here. Hold on. Usually I try to do this beforehand. Let's do create new temporary filters, and let's do it by cap, sort Z to A, I think is what we're doing. Yeah, okay. So when we're looking at this, you want to find a couple of dudes. They were up to no good. All right. $50, huh? Is anybody like really popping this week if you're like trying to make a lineup and win a reward? I kind of like targeting some of these Spurs and Pacers. There we go. Wow, Chris Middleton has a cap of 23. No, that's $47. Forget it. Daniel Gafford has a cap of 23. He's only $13. I don't hate scooping up somebody like Gafford. That helps you make a lineup. Zubats is another one, although Zubats is already priced up a little bit. Here we go. Bones Highland is one. TJ Warren, I like that, but that's like half of your budget. Andrew Nembhard. I think I would target some of these Pacers like Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, stuff like that. Ask me that again tomorrow. I need some time to look through some of this stuff. Is any of this financial advice? Yeah, let me actually answer that with something else, because we haven't done that in forever. None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do, something like that, right? We haven't done that in a while. Julius Randle, CJ McCollum, and Siakam are great values for what you get. Yeah, that's true too. What are your thoughts on Toby? His L10 will drop in the mid-20s max. He might take some usage away, but still high ceiling. I actually don't think he has his high ceiling, Roland. I think like what we saw last night without Embiid, and like PJ Tucker on the court, he put up 19 and 10. So like that is his upside, is 19 and 10. So I don't know. It's not my favorite. What else we got? Why Williams, Plumlee hurt? No, so Williams, so the coach was like, yeah, we need to give Williams some more run. He came out and said that. And I think, dude, the Hornets suck, man. They have no shot at making the play-in. They want to lose as many games as possible. They want a shot at getting Wembanyama or Scoot. So I think they are going to continue to give him more minutes. He's a rookie. They want to see what they got in him, and he helps them lose. He also is like a pretty good fantasy per minute guy. He was a stocks, big blocks, and steals guy. So I don't know. I'm biased though. Like I'm biased. I know. Getting a real George Michael vibe with that one headphone. Yeah, I honestly don't know why I did it. They're like a little uncomfortable. These ones are way more comfortable, but they're like, I use this when I'm doing like some editing stuff, but I always feel a little silly having these on when I'm streaming. Weisberg says, coming in here to say late Bay area weather is trash this week, but also to reiterate to a larger audience that Jordan Poole is D-Lo with a better social media presence. That was great. I thought that was a great comp last night, Weisberg. Great comp last night. Made me laugh. It definitely made me laugh. Also, hey guys, we are 5 subs away from 7,300. Let's hit that 7,300 range. Listen, you want to know what my dream is? I think we're 2 months away from our 2-year anniversary. I want to hit 10K by then. It's like March. I think it's the first week of March. I know it's not going to happen. That goal is too high. I should say 8K. That's like an attainable goal. I want 10. All right. Start creating your fake accounts. That's all I'm asking. Be the bot you want to see in the world. Bahatman Gandhi said that. Oh, A+. That's the comedy. That's the comedy that's kicking in right there. That's the comedy. The goal is too damn high. Fernandez, what the hell, dude? I talked about your Knicks lovingly this morning, okay? Elon Zakarian. Yep, to the moon. Rocket ship, baby. We're going to start making some cash. We need to start making some cash. Has anyone here watched Kaleidoscope yet? You know what? I am going to watch that soon because The Plunge himself, Plunge Father is we're gonna be doing a show on it. We're gonna do like I think we're gonna start doing like a bi-weekly content show where we just talk about shit that plungers watch. But Kaleidoscope is funny. It was most of it was filmed in New York. Everybody I've ever done comedy with is in this thing. So many people are in there. Like just I keep seeing I like open up Instagram and it's like, oh, I was pumped to be in this episode of Kaleidoscope and do this. So a lot of my friends are in it. Not friends, a lot of my comedy acquaintances are in it. So yeah, we are going to be watching that one, and the plunge is going to come on. We're going to talk about that together. So I need to get in on it though. But I heard it's great. Oh, hey, I forgot I said I was going to do a giveaway. I got to give away some Top Shot trash. All you got to do is like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag Bay into the chat, and we will spin this thing here in a minute. So last call for that. Last call for alcohol. Do I know Joe Pera? You know who knows Joe Pera? Greg, Mr. G Dunn himself went to college with Joe Pera, and that is how I got to know Joe Pera. We did karaoke together once. Joe Pera is hilarious. Kelsey and I went, actually Steve from 89 Cavs was hosting a show that Joe Pera was on, and it was one of the funniest stand-up bits that I had seen in a long time. He's great. I love Joe. Big Joe Pera fan. Oh yeah, that's right. You went to college with Greg. That's right. I forget like you're just one of us now, Eric. So I forget that like you have in real life connections to us, you know? And by us, I mean Greg. Although I think I met your wife, right? I think you guys are married. Fiance, together, boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know. But I met your partner. Right? I think I did. I think wasn't she at Aubrey and Greg's wedding? Am I wilding right now? I'm pretty sure I did. All right, we're up to 44 entrants. We're gonna spin this thing. TST equals Top Shot trash. That's right. Okay, cool. All right, it seems like we get all of our entrants in. We're going to spin this thing. Let's do it. If you win, shoot me a DM either at Mike Zakarian or in the Discord. Either way, you can do that. And we'll get you a moment over there momentarily. Here we go. Winner. We the people. Shout out We the People. I feel like We the People hasn't won anything in a long time. As always, hey, I really appreciate everyone being here today. It's way more fun when you guys tune in and are active in the chat. Otherwise, it's just me talking to myself, you know? So I really appreciate y'all being here. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Make sure last call, like the stream, subscribe to all that shit. And we will see you tomorrow morning. We are out.